Welcome back to the game. This is Robert from Black Belt Gaming. I'm now beginning turn 2. The heroes have been refreshed and the threat level has been increased by 1 to 25. Step 1, the resource phase. Each of the 3 heroes gains a resource token. I also draw 1 card. We've got the favor of the lady. Step 2, planning phase. With a cost of 2, we will pay 2 resource tokens to place Unexpected Courage under the Rohan Warrior Dunhir. This condition allows us to exhaust this card in order to ready our hero. Phase number 3, the quest phase. I will commit Eowyn and the Lorien Guide once again to the main quest. Still in the questing phase, a new card must be drawn from the encounter deck and placed in the staging area. It is a location card, Great Forest Web. How fitting. Eowyn was right behind the Lorien Guide. They continued making their way down the dark forest path, the old forest road. The Lorien Guide allows us to add 1 progress token to the active location when he commits to a quest. We'll place that here. That gives us 3 progress tokens on the active location. And at this point, this allows us to remove it from play. Eowyn and the Lorien Guide stood once again. The Black Forest Bats had made their pass. The Rohan Warrior Dunhir turned and once again rejoined the party as the forest spider had disappeared into the darkness. Far back behind was a Dunedain ranger and a traveling minstrel, a young hobbit. Their eyes were wide as they saw the long legs of the spider disappear back behind the trees into the cobwebs. "We must hurry," the Lorien Guide said. "Keep moving. To remain still in this forest is death." Eowyn agreed, and they continued down the old forest path. With Eowyn and the scout now both committed to the quest, their total willpower is 5. We compare that to the threat generated here in the staging area, which totals 2 and 2 being 4. So 5 beating 4 allows us to place 1 additional progress token on our quest card. Phase number 4, the travel phase. Great Forest Web. As he drew nearer, he saw it was made with spider webs, one behind and over and tangled with another. This will become our active location now. It is removed from the staging area. Since we are traveling to this location, we must exhaust 1 hero we control. As the Lorien Guide took the lead once again, he led the party along the very edge of the Great Forest Web. The bats continued to swirl around in the trees above their heads. And looking up, Dunhir accidentally stumbled on a root in his path and fell sideways into the great forest web. Seeing Dunhir stumble into the web, the northern tracker and the wandering hobbit came rushing forward, drawing knives from their belts, and began cutting at the sticky webs which now entangled the Rohan warrior. This card is an ally card that is from my deck. I withdrew him for a moment simply for storytelling purposes. The northern tracker is actually in my hand, but not in play yet, so the northern tracker will stay in my hand. The wandering took will be shuffled back into my deck. We now enter the encounter phase. Our Black Forest bats are currently engaging us, and now that our threat is 25, it is time to bring in the forest spider, the wounded forest spider. Its threat is 25, therefore it's time to bring it into play, and it will engage us now as we move into the 6th phase, the combat phase. As we begin the combat phase, we deal a card, shadow card, to each attacking enemy. First, I believe I will have the spider make its attack, but before I resolve that, I'm going to take an action and allow Dunhir to ready. So we're going to exhaust his attachment, and now he is ready for action once again. Our enemies are ready to attack. We'll resolve the attack of the forest spider first. It's going to come down and attack Eleanor, who is going to defend. When the forest spider attacks, after forest spider engages a player, it gets +1 until the end of the round. So its attack strength is now 3. Let's turn over the card and see if there are any shadow effects to be taken into consideration. No, we have a location card, no shadow effects. That card is discarded. For those of you new to the game, shadow effects appear under this line with the skull on it. That's a shadow effect. So if a card doesn't have a shadow effect, it doesn't influence the combat. The ranger cuts through the final thick strand of web entangled around Dunhir's sword arm. The hobbit extends a hand and helps the Rohan warrior back to his feet. Fearing that it will miss its chance for revenge and a tasty meal, the forest spider lunges at the back of Dunhir. Shouting a warning, Eleanor shoves the Rohan warrior to the side and raises her shield in preparation for the spider's nasty attack. The ferocious attack knocks the Gondor noble to the ground, and the spider takes a bite. Its fangs pierce Eleanor's shoulder, and she screams out in pain. The next attack to be resolved will be the Black Forest bats. I'm going to take a chance and allow this attack to go undefended. The attack power is 1. As an undefended attack, that means that one of my heroes will suffer the full damage of this attack, regardless of the hero's defense level. The shadow effect, if any, and there is one, we see it here underneath the line. It says, raise defending player's threat by 4 And in parentheses, raise defending player's threat by 8 instead if this attack is undefended. Uh-oh. Our new threat level is now 33. We are doomed, the Lorian scout whispers as he sees the cloud of black forest bats once again make an attack upon the party. Eowyn, taken by surprise, is bitten savagely on the cheek. Eowyn takes a point of damage from the black forest bat attack. As Eleanor struggles for her life against the attacks of the forest spider, it is almost as if the dark and evil creatures of Mirkwood Forest sense her weakness. The black forest bats begin to swirl her way. They will soon be upon her as well. Dunhir, now free of the web, sword in hand, prepares to attack the forest spider. But the young hobbit tosses him a torch. Understanding what to do, the warrior of Rohan turns and waves the torch right at the cloud of bats that are approaching. The fire scares them, causing them to flee into the darkness, hopefully for good. We're still in the combat phase. I'm going to declare Dunhir the attacker against the black forest bats. Since they have practically alerted every creature in Mirkwood Forest to our presence due to the raised threat level, I'm going to have him take them out. His attack is 2 versus their defense of 0. That's 2 damage to them. They have 2 hit points. They are defeated. Dunhir is now exhausted. And we've come to the end of the combat phase. We are now entering phase 7, the refresh phase. These are the cards currently in my hand. My threat level is 33. During the refresh phase, you need to increase the threat level by 1. We're up to 34 now. My heroes are once again readied. My ally is readied. We still have a resource token remaining. It was unused from this turn. And up here is the active location. It will require 2 progress tokens to be removed from play. And we still have this spider, the forest spider, that's currently engaging us. Just a note as I close this turn number 2, I sincerely appreciate all of the helpful advice that's been given at Board Game Geek and here on the YouTube channel. Also, please take a look at my Facebook page. I update that probably more than anything else, and would love to hear from you over there too. I'm not sure if I'm going to make it successfully to the end of this adventure. I will certainly do my best, but we had 2 heroes take damage this turn. You've given me some good advice about getting the northern tracker out as soon as I can. Hopefully I can do that next turn. As many of you stated, the spirit deck is a little weak on attack power, and hopefully the Dunedain Ranger can help us with that. For those of you that want more instruction in the videos, this particular game I think is going to work pretty well with storytelling, much like I did with Elder Sign. So it will be a mixture of mechanics and light storytelling with some instructional value. The reason I didn't dedicate this particular series to just simply teaching the game is because there are a lot of good videos out there already that do that. And instead of just putting one more on the pile, I wanted to offer something a little different. So if I am going to be doing a new and different game in the future, and I don't see anything else out there that's helping teach people the game, I certainly have no problem offering some help with that. So variety is good, and that's what I'm trying to offer here as well. So thank you for all the positive feedback and support, and I hope you'll join me for turn 3 coming soon.